Hello and welcome back to the sixth video of this PHP course. In this video we're going to finish off with forms for a while, so if you don't like forms, congratulations, you're finished with them for a while. I'm warning you, we're gonna go back to them, and we're gonna go back to them quite hard, so if you don't like them, try to get used to them at least. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about cross-site scripting. What is it, how can we avoid it, and also how to clean up some mistakes, or I wouldn't call them mistakes, but how to clean up some things that we want to avoid. So remember this little function here that's called HTML special characters, etc, etc. We're doing this function here, and it's also write down comment and test input. This function here is going to try to delete white spaces, delete HTML like special characters like backslashes, etc, etc, so hackers can not send special code into our input to try to hack us. That would be more or less the way to look at it. But we have a little problem, and the problem is, what if we want to show this subscribe to newsletter everywhere in our file? We want to show it into my profile, we want to show it in action.php, we want to show it into feed.php, etc, etc. We would have to copy all this form, then go here and change it depending on what file we're looking at. But there's a very well-known rule in programming, which is called DRY, which stands for don't repeat yourself. So I want to avoid that at all cost. So it's a very nice variable. Remember, you'll see now that it is called server PHP self. So what is this? Okay, well, we've seen it before, haven't we? Server PHP self. So what is this doing? Well, this is a variable that has the actual path of our file. So if we echo it, we're gonna echo it and put a nice semicolon there. If we echo it, you're going to see that it's going to return where to send the action. Okay, it's a nice variable. Well, what is the problem with doing that? Well, at the moment, if we copy and paste a different file, this is going to be quite useful for us, but this server variable is quite easy hackable, so it's quite easy to hack and run scripts into it. So what we could do is we could use either the test input function, or what people just do, they just use the HTML special characters to run it, to make sure that no scripting variables like, let's say, backslashes, etc, etc, are passed onto it. So see, nothing has changed, and now this is going to work the same. Okay, now we have a little problem, and is that this thing here, we didn't input our name. So if we put our name, it's going to say please fill in the email, but when we click and we didn't fill any of them, we want to show every single error. Okay, and this is going to be a nice way to do it. How do we do it? Well, we can forget about these variables here, okay, and we can create a new variable called error messages. Okay, error messages, remember, and this is going to be an array, and it's going to contain this array. Remember, a collection of items is going to collect every single error message we have. So now we can forget about the show data, and we can forget about the show data, and we can say show messages. Okay, there is a way to push this information into the array. So let's say what we could do, we could say show messages this, okay, these little brackets is equal to that. So what is this doing? Well, this is actually a push function. It's saying, okay, add this information to a new element in the array. Okay, there's also another function like array push that you pass x number of parameters, but we're going to do it this way, okay, because I think it's quite easy to do. So it's saying, okay, to array messages, please put in this and please put in this. The other fix you probably spotted already is that this function is not an else if. This function is going to be two different if statements, then it's going to check one, and then it's going to check the other one. Okay, that's cool. How can we display both? Well, now this is the good bit, the cool part of PHP. Let's just open the brackets, okay? .php. Okay, so what can we do? Well, there's a nice thing called a for each loop. Okay, and this for each loop, let's forget about this, we'll go through that in the future. This for each loop will take a parameter which is going to be error messages, and it's going to run every single item in the array, and it's going to call it a name, for example. Well, I'm just going to call it message. Okay, we can call it whatever we want. So now we have this for loop, well, this for array, this for each, and this loop is going to go through every single element in this array, which is, that should have an S, well spotted, and it's going to call it a message. So now what we can do, we can just say echo message. So now saying please fill in the name, please fill in the email. It will leave that out. You're just going to say please fill in the email. It will leave both out. That's going to leave it like that, etc, etc. So that works, but we don't want just to echo it, do we? How about, also we have to check that if we fill in both, nothing is going to happen because there's not going to be items in this array. Therefore this function, this for loop, this for each loop won't ever run. So what can we do? Well, instead of just echoing that, how about if we echo what we had before? So I kind of regret I got rid of it, but we can just say style, and this is going to be quite better because we can just say color red. Okay, whoops, and color red, and then we can just say message, so we can run it. Okay, and then we can close the three brackets, so the H3 brackets. So if we run it again, ta-da, happy days. Also, for some reason, and this is just my browser, it adds a break line in between, but that shouldn't really happen. But hey, look, for now we're just gonna leave it like that. But you know that if one prints beside the other one, you can just add a BR, okay, in here. Oh wait, it's not adding a, it's adding a BR after because it's a H3 file. Okay, H3 tag. Well, grand. So if we have only, if we put in a name, we put a space, nothing happens because a space are not allowed. If we put a name, that's cool, just the email. If we put an email, just the name. If we put both, none show. So now we have a way to tell the user what values to put, and we also learned in these videos, which I hope they weren't too annoying because form's a bit not the best, that how to avoid cross-site scripting and how to check for inputs for the user. So again, finally, this is going to be the end of forms. Then we're going to keep on building a really cool site. In the next set of videos, we're going to just look at a few more concepts, and then we're going to start building a very, very cool site that I have prepared that I think you're all going to like. So I hope you like this video, and if you did, just give a thumbs up if you want to, and if you don't, well, you know, just don't. And yep, I hope you like this video, and thanks for watching.